NASA has announced one of the greatest discoveries in human history. Bacteria have been found on Mars, strange fish in the oceans of Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, and to top it off, ancient alien ruins on Titan, the largest moon of Saturn and the second largest moon in the solar system. Known for having a dense nitrogen-rich atmosphere and being the only celestial body besides Earth with surface liquids, in the form of methane and ethane lakes and seas. Extraordinary, right? Actually, no. This would be terrible news. The discovery of extraterrestrial life, especially in multiple forms, could be the worst omen for the future of humanity. This may seem contradictory at first glance. After all, the search for life beyond Earth has been an obsession of modern science. But if alien life truly exists, it could mean that humanity's future is doomed. And the reason lies in a concept called the Great Filter. To understand why the discovery of extraterrestrial life could be so disastrous, imagine the evolution of life as a ladder we must climb, from a simple and rudimentary state to the creation of an intergalactic civilization. The first rung is the origin of life, marking the transition from inert molecules to life forms capable of replicating and evolving. This may have happened on early Earth, where simple molecules like water and carbon dioxide reacted in a primordial soup with the help of energy, forming organic compounds. The Miller-Urey experiment showed that building blocks like amino acids can form naturally. However, the key to life was the emergence of molecules like RNA, which could store genetic information and replicate. From there, the second rung represents the transition from simple single-celled organisms to more complex multicellular life forms. This advancement occurred when the first organisms developed more efficient ways to utilize energy, such as photosynthesis and aerobic respiration. With more energy available, single-celled organisms began forming colonies and eventually specialized in different functions, leading to multicellularity. This cellular specialization allowed for the development of larger, more efficient, and diverse organisms, paving the way for the incredible variety of life we see today. Each rung brings more complexity. Cells join together to form larger organisms. These organisms develop more advanced brains, until a species emerges that begins altering the environment it lives in. This is the stage we are currently living in. Our species has developed enough technology to change the planet itself, and more importantly, to take the first steps toward space exploration. So here's the problem. Why haven't we found signs of advanced civilizations in our galaxy yet? We know there are billions of planets in the Milky Way. At least 10 billion of them could be similar to Earth. Many are billions of years older than our planet, giving plenty of time for intelligent life forms to evolve and colonize the galaxy. But we see nothing. This emptiness in space leads to a disturbing possibility. Something prevents most species from reaching the final stage of the evolutionary ladder. Something terrible and relentless that wipes out most civilizations before they can spread across the universe. This is the concept of the Great Filter. The Great Filter is the idea that at some point on the evolutionary ladder, there's a nearly insurmountable barrier. If a species fails to overcome it, it's doomed to extinction. The crucial question is, have we already passed the Great Filter, or is it still ahead of us? Let's explore the first scenario, the more optimistic one. The Great Filter is behind us. This would mean that something about life on Earth is extremely special and rare. Perhaps the emergence of multicellular organisms is a cosmic anomaly, or maybe intelligence and culture are far more improbable than we imagine. There is evidence supporting this line of thought. Single-celled life emerged relatively quickly on Earth, but multicellular life took billions of years to appear. Even more intriguingly, cellular complexity may have been the result of a unique event. One primitive cell engulfed another, and instead of digesting it, The two formed a symbiotic partnership. This more complex cell became the ancestor of all animals. If this event only happened once, even in a universe full of life, that could already be the great filter. Now, the second scenario. If the great filter is still ahead of us, it means we have yet to encounter the obstacle that wipes out civilizations. The most frightening idea is that this filter inevitably emerges when a species gains control of its planet. It could be something as simple as depleting the planet's resources or destroying the ecosystem it depends on. Alternatively, the filter might be tied to technology. As we advance, we become increasingly capable of destroying ourselves in more efficient ways. A clear example would be nuclear war. With the nuclear weapons we possess, we could end civilization in a matter of hours. Or perhaps the danger comes from something more sophisticated, like out-of-control nanotechnology, genetic engineering, or artificial intelligence. Imagine a world where a super-intelligent AI destroys its creators, or runaway nanotechnology consumes all the biomass on the planet. There are also subtler possibilities. Maybe all civilizations advance to the point where they collapse under the weight of their own complexity. Or perhaps they create some kind of environmental disaster on such a massive scale that they can't reverse it. It's possible that every civilization reaching a certain level of power eventually self-destructs before they can spread to other stars. That's why finding life beyond Earth would be terrible news. Discovering bacteria on Mars, for example, would suggest that life itself isn't so rare. And that makes it more likely that the great filter is still ahead of us, waiting to wipe us out. Even worse would be finding complex life elsewhere. Imagine discovering creatures in Europa's ocean, or the ruins of an extinct civilization on Titan. That would be an alarming sign that the filter lies in the final steps of the evolutionary ladder. If other species reach the point of building civilizations and still got destroyed, what's stopping us from meeting the same fate? Given all this, the best scenario for us would be discovering that the universe is deserted, that Mars and Europa are barren, and that there are no signs of intelligent life or galactic civilizations anywhere. If we are the only ones or the first, it means we've already passed the great filter, or that it's not as dangerous as we fear. This doesn't mean we're safe. There are still many challenges ahead, but at least in this case, we wouldn't be competing against a universe full of civilizations that already failed to overcome the same obstacles. So, as fascinating as the idea of finding alien life may seem, it would actually be safer if the Milky Way were empty. At least that way, we'd have a chance to climb the next rung on the evolutionary ladder and maybe one day become a galactic civilization. For now, our focus must be on surviving ourselves. So, make sure to subscribe to the channel and don't miss any content about the future of our civilization and the secrets of the universe. I'll see you in the next video.